Welcome back to another episode of Real Estate Stories. Are you creepy?
Good
Oh
night.
man, Michelle and I were talking, and look, as real estate agents, we have to kind of be out there, right? It's not that tough to find our contact information. In fact, we want to make it easy to
Right.
find our contact information. We want to have some sort of presence on different social media platforms. But and that's part of how we market ourselves and the services that we offer. But you and I were talking, right? And there's an ugly side to that too, right? Tell everyone about the ugly side.
Well, there's a couple ugly sides,
Yeah, yeah,
especially like on Facebook. And I'm sure everybody gets this, when you post something and then you have somebody post something very inappropriate about your looks, or let's be friends. I want to be your best friend. And it's continuous, and it's continuous. So, I mean, Robert, you and I were talking, you get that, but as a woman, that totally like gets you a little crazy. It's not even that. Some of your leads that come in that don't really respond in that positive way where you feel okay about showing a property.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. And we've had conversations in this industry forever about this kind of stuff. And arguably, I think that women have to be more careful than men, but we all have to be careful because, there's some nutty people out there, and nutty person might even be watching this video. Hopefully not, right? But
Don't
that's why we have to
email us.
we have to like monitor comments. We have to monitor, you have to monitor a lot of that stuff on social, just because there's stuff that can be just totally inappropriate. So spam is one thing, like inappropriate comments or potentially putting ourselves in a dangerous situation is a whole different thing, isn't it? Like whole different thing.
Yeah.
Uh, you just never know who you're talking to. So interestingly, many, many, many years ago, I got a phone call from a prospect that said, I have a home in your area that I'd like to sell. I no longer live there. So the radar starts going off, right? And it was tenant occupied for a while, but it's no longer tenant occupied. Oh, and by the way, I don't have any keys.
Oh.
I'm going to need you to take care of that too. So I said, I'd be happy to. We spoke on the phone, sounded good. And I said, I'm going to need you to email me or text me a copy of your ID, because I can see in public records who owns the house. I want to make sure if I'm going to be hiring a contractor to break into a house, right? I kind of want to know what I'm getting myself into here. Yeah. And this particular woman, it was a female, was standoffish about that. So she said, why? And I said exactly what I just said, which is, I kind of have to know who I'm speaking with here. I'm happy to help you and I know what to do here, but I kind of need to know that it's your house, in not so many words. So she did send me a copy of her ID and it did match. So, and as it turns out, in that case, it was because this particular person who had a tricky situation with this house financially had been a prominent news anchor in the area for many years, who had relocated out to the West Coast a few years ago, or a few years prior to that, and call her a quasi celebrity. Like, you would recognize the name at that time anyway. And I said, oh, okay, now I understand why you're being that way. And of course, we don't advertise the owner's name, although it is public record. Yeah. But it's like, you got to watch all this, right? Because I think this ties into how you started. There's a creepiness factor out there. Like, you want me to break into a house? Like, it's different than someone with an inappropriate remark on, a social media thread of yours. But it's like, wait, hold on. I don't want to get in any trouble here. And I certainly don't want to put myself in danger, right? Yeah. It kind of ties back to these land scams that we got caught up in, and a lot of agents still are getting caught up in. You just, like, unfortunately, you've got to constantly fish through what's legitimate and what's not legitimate. You had one where it was a 15-year-old trying to
crazy.
engage you to list and sell a house.
Until his mother, like, don't text my son anymore. I'm like, I'm not texting your son, and had to explain the whole thing. It was bizarre. But, like I said, shoot, like, you never know somebody's, and this is going to sound, I'm trying to be very PC, mental capacity, even if it's an adult.
True.
So I didn't want to be rude about it, till I find out he's 15.
Yep. Was he inappropriate or just weird to communicate with?
Bizarre is a little bit
bizarre.
Okay.
So here, I think the moral of all this is if you're watching this video and you're looking to sell a house or buy a house and you reach out to us, we'd love to help you, of course. Or if you reach out to another real estate agent, whoever, if they ask you a few extra questions during some of those initial conversations, they're not being nosy. They just want to make sure that everybody is on the up and up, right? So don't take it personally. We are protecting our own safety. We're protecting you, and we want to understand the situation so we can best service you as a seller or a buyer.
Absolutely.
Because unfortunately, because the world has gone a little bit nutty in the last decade or so, we just have to make sure that, we're just dealing with highly functioning adults.
Highly functioning.
I know it's weird, right?
No creepy crawlers.
Yeah, no creepy crawlers. So thanks for watching.